Well. I see you took my advice, but you'll still need to keep what was given to you, as the scenes of horror grow even more unimaginable. Prince and Freddy will continue to be your tour guides on this carousel of hell, only as long as you keep your nightlight close by to keep the black-eyed children at bay, the poltergeist calm, and the night crawlers hidden. Hit the lights and sit back as we welcome you to Nightlight, a horror movie podcast.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Rain, happy birthday to you. Hi Tea with Night, all of my love and birthday wishes from Sydney, Australia. We are so lucky to have you as part of our Ghoulish Knight community because you are so smart and funny and charismatic. And every time I see your name pop up on the Discord, it brings a smile to my face. I hope you have an amazing birthday. You deserve it.
Happy birthday, Rain. I just want to say thank you so much for all you do for the show and the community. I hope that your birthday is half as cool or half as wonderful as you are. I hope you get to do everything you want to do with your day, even if that includes doing a whole lot of nothing. Happy birthday, gorgeous. I hope you have a wonderful birthday.
Happy birthday, C. You are absolutely amazing. You're literally one of the best people in the entire world. When I think about all the superhero movies I love to watch, Marvel, DC, all of it, I just think about you being a real life superhero. You are unstoppable. You do so much. So I just want to say I appreciate you. You're absolutely fucking amazing. I wish you a very happy birthday. I hope you enjoy your day. And thank you just for being all around a phenomenal friend. You are incredible, like I said. You are absolutely the best. So I wish you the best and nothing but the best.
Happy birthday, Cheyenne. I hope you have the best birthday ever and you have a lovely year and it's better than the last.
Happy birthday, Rain. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for being the great marketing manager of Nightlight and maybe much appreciated. And just thank you for everything, being such a soft voice to the community, and we really appreciate it. Happy birthday again.
Happy birthday, Cheyenne. I hope everyone's favorite horror mommy is having one of the best birthdays. I hope you're getting to spend some time with Cruz and you're doing something cool. And just know that we all love you to pieces. And this place would not be the same without you in it. We love you, Cheyenne.
Happy birthday. You're great.
Happy birthday, Cheyenne. I am so proud of you for everything you've accomplished and everything you're going to accomplish. I can't wait for you to turn 30 so the arthritis can just hit and I can make fun of you. I can't wait to live in a castle with you and just spend all of our days being happy old ladies, but not too old because God forbid we turn old, apparently. Anyway, I am so grateful for Nightlight because I got to meet you and you are truly my best friend. Like, I would die for you, like truly. And I love Cruz so much. Like, I got the best nephew, the best friend. Like, this pod not only changed my life, but it got me you, and I love you so much. You deserve the best birthday ever.
Happy birthday, Rain. I hope your birthday is amazing because you deserve all the amazing things in life. And I hope it's a great day.
Very special birthday shout out to UC. Thank you for all that you do here. Happy birthday. Have the best day ever. Right now. Like literally right now. If you're listening to this, stop listening to this. And then, no, matter of fact, keep listening to this. And then have the best day ever. All right. Love you. Bye.
I'm Prince, also known as Head Knight.
And I'm Freddy, also known as Nighty Night.
And this is Nightlight, a horror movie podcast. Coming back at y'all with the tail end of this month. It's not completely done yet, but it's a tail end. We're working there. We're getting there. But our community horror month, also known as Night of the Ghouls, has been fantastic. It's been great.
Yes.
I've been having a blast with it. I'm sure
So
you've been
good.
having a blast with it. It's been a good time. It's been a good time. And I've happy to report that our ghouls chose some fantastic movies for this month.
Phenomenal movies. For real.
Oh,
really
my
great
God.
lineup. Great lineup.
Fantastic lineup. Oh man.
Yeah.
I was reeling when I was doing the recording for this particular episode, when I was doing the notes for it. I was just like, damn. They legit chose some damn good like movies for this goddamn episode. So I am happy to report that. That is incredible. But the film that we are going to be talking about before we jump into that is one that is quite special to me, and I'm sure it is to you as well. This particular movie that we're going to be talking about today is one that I feel was the one that put this gentleman on the map, if you will. This was the one that made it say, we need to watch this fucking guy. We're going to be talking about none other than Mike Flanagan's Oculus. His sophomore film, I guess. His second directorial. His first one was Absentia. Very different compared to Absentia in terms of not just like movie-wise or plot-wise, but literally cinematography, lighting. It's just like you could tell my boy had a budget for this one. But before we jump into to our thoughts, because this month has been great. Before we jump into our thoughts, we do have some EVPs that we need to share, and we're going to do that right about now because I am excited to hear from what our ghouls have to say about Oculus.
Literally everything Michael Flanagan, may I call you that, Mike, Busty? Everything he does is gold. Literally everything he does is gold. Oculus is the first thing I've ever seen by him, I think. It was either that or Hush. Both are so good. Oculus is incredible. The acting is incredible, the plot, the everything. I will never forget the first time that I watched this movie because it genuinely scared me. Every single time I've seen this movie, I walk away like, nobody look at me. Mirrors, cover them. Every single one of them. Glass, get it out of my face. Windows, cover them. Like, the scene that absolutely jolts me to my core is when she stabs her fiance and then she's like, oh, it's not real. And then she looks through her phone and she's like, oh, motherfucker. Or she takes that, the light bulb. We all know what I'm talking about, right? The light bulb, the apple. Yeah. That, like the little things and the details, my God, this movie just... I'm literally sweating, and I love the way he plays with timelines in this movie because time is this wibbly wobbly thing. Points if you get my Doctor Who reference, but I love that he overlays them so beautifully. There's no confusion. There's no what the fuck is going on. Like Michael Flanagan, sir, please, you are a masterful storyteller, and he is in fact listening to this podcast. So I love the way he tells the story. It is beautiful. It is tragic. And again, makes me want to shit my pants. It's just everything I want in a movie.
There you go.
Hi, it's Farah, Allison's Twilight bestie from the shout-outs. So Oculus. I love this movie. I love Mike Flanagan. I was super late to the Absentia party, so Oculus was actually the first of his movies that I saw, and I love it even more now because we get introduced to the laser glass, and that ends up being such a huge part of everything that that he does after this. So I think this movie had the right amount of creepy, had the right amount of violence. The parents were really the scariest part of the movie for me. I did feel bad for the kids, both of the kids when they were young, but then when they got grown, I only felt bad for the brother. Kaylie really worried my spirit, and I just don't know why redheads can't be trusted in horror movies. But in the end, I'm not upset at all that the mirror won. That was a good ending for me. I liked it. Those are my thoughts. I hope I make the cut because it made me really nervous.
Hell yes. Amazing. Oh my God. Thank you so much for leaving EVPs, especially Farrah. Like, oh my God, it was great to hear from her.
Absolutely.
That was awesome. But Allison and Farrah both made incredibly great points. You know, this movie does something that can truly get under your skin, which is a testament for how Mike Flanagan does his work, right? It's really intriguing how he positions himself, how he moves himself within film, and I think it's very telling every single time he makes something new. And it's why people get so excited for okay, the best way I can put this, how, especially for us, but like, how when people just get excited for what a director directs in general, they don't give a shit what it is. They're just excited, like a Steven Spielberg or something like that.
Consume it all.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Those are like household names. Like when you say Steven Spielberg, even like folks like my grandma, who's not a big movie buff, will know that like, oh yeah, Jaws and blah 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 blah. So like she would know that. Same thing with like James Cameron and
Christopher Nolan,
so on. Exactly. Yeah. So like these are people who have broken out of the aspect of film buffs or cinephiles. These are individuals who are more of a general name now. And I feel like Mike Flanagan is approaching that. I don't think he's fully there yet, but I do think he is approaching that. And especially when it comes to his TV shows. But I think the movie that's going to really do it for him, honestly, is going to be The Exorcist. I think The Exorcist is going to be the movie where he's going to surpass the aspect of like just film buffs or horror buffs and go to more of a general audience name.
I can see that. That and plus his series of Carrie, two major franchises.
I think his series are always going to do great for like people knowing who he is because of the aspect of like what he did with Haunting of Hill House. Everyone gets excited for that. But when it comes to like the numbers and things like that, if I bring up The Life of Chuck, for example, The Life of Chuck was obviously a beautiful movie.
Brilliant.
It only made $20 million.
Yeah.
And before that,
not bad. But
it's great.
It's not huge like a Spielberg movie, James Cameron, Christopher Nolan type.
Exactly.
Yeah. And where The Exorcist, like to your point, where I feel like you're driving this competition, it's going to be a huge box office hit.
It is.
Especially with the cast. The cast is stacked.
It is.
As well.
And I think with that, like even with Dr. Sleep, he made only $72.4 million with that on a $55 million budget, which he made money back, but at the same time, not as much as it was intended. That movie was projected to make like over $150 million. They did not hit the mark, right? So it was considered a box office failure, but because of that, those two movies being the last films that he's had in theaters, and The Exorcist is going to be the next film he has in theaters, I do feel that The Exorcist is going to be the one that's going to traject him out of just being a horror buff centric name.
Right.
I feel like that's going to be the one that's really going to take him to newer heights of like a general audience, because I think people are going to show the fuck up for The Exorcist. Even though we did have it get soured a little bit with DDG or DGG, David Gordon Green, which I never watched, but with that, like I just feel like he is going to be able to kind of reshape something, but he has a lot of work to do when it comes to the marketing front, right? Like there's going to be a lot of like studioship added to this as well, because he has a lot of work to do to really make people feel like, no, this is a different Exorcist than the one that you watched 3 years ago, right? Like this is, he has a lot of work to do in that department.
There wasn't the Exorcist movie 3 years ago?
Exactly. Exactly. So like he has a lot of work to do in that department for sure, but I do feel like that's going to be the one that's going to put his name on the map, because I mean, Grant, for us, he's like a fucking god to us. Like he's just like, holy shit. And I'm sure he would probably hate to hear that, but it's just, I'm sure in this aspect, it's just like, yeah, he's very popular in our circle, in our space. He's extremely popular. He's one of the top names for a lot of people in our space. But I mean, we'll see, because like I feel like Ryan Coogler did that with Sinners. Granted, he obviously had a whole bunch of other movies, but I feel like Ryan Coogler really truly became a household name with Sinners.
I agree.
He's
made so many great films, but I feel like no one knew his name specifically until this, which blows my mind, because even like major franchises like within Marvel, like Black Panther. But a lot of
But
people
that's a
don't know who
Marvel
directs
movie.
it.
Like
Right,
no
exactly.
one cares about the director. It's a Marvel movie. So I feel like
And I
Sinners
feel,
is
honestly,
what truly put Ryan Coogler on
with
there.
Ryan Coogler, his explanation of the aspect ratios of different formats of IMAX, I think that really exploded his name out there
That
as a
helped.
really well crafted director who cares about
Yeah.
the details, which is cool to see. We love to see that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is to say, I'm calling it now. I'm bear trapping it, as they say on Creepcast. I'm bear trapping it right now. I think Mike Flanagan is going to be a household name after The Exorcist. I think that's really going to put him on the map. At least fingers crossed. I hope that happens for him, because his work is great, and I want more Mike Flanagan movies in the theater. Like, I don't want to have to wait almost 10 years for another Mike Flanagan movie to be in theaters again. Like, I don't want that to happen to us.
Right.
Like, I don't want that to happen to us. But anyway, that's not what we're necessarily talking about. Well, kind of. We're talking about Oculus. First and foremost, Freddie, thoughts?
I absolutely love this movie. I'm really happy that we were able to watch this for the podcast, because I feel like I
thought we already did.
It. I felt like we did too. Okay, there was a feeling that maybe we did and we might have missed it or whatever. It doesn't matter.
I checked our watch list and yeah, we didn't watch it.
I'm happy. I'm happy we are able to watch it for the podcast, because I feel like it's been a minute since I've rewatched it, and I remember, and I even saw my old Letterboxd score. I think I gave it like a 4.5. I give it a 5 this time around, so a perfect score for me.
Nice.
I don't remember it being so chaotic and bonkers and kind of funny at times. Karen Gillian, what she's able to do with her character and how excited she is about like her investigation and kind of like the eccentric side of her, of setting up this like master plan, was so fun and so cool. It kind of gave me Malignant vibes, where it's like over the top campiness sometimes as well, where I'm just like, wow, I forgot how fun this movie is, as well as super scary at points in the movie too. And I love that they brought up in the EVPs that like, the parents are the scariest aspects. I have to give a shout out to what's her name, Katie Sackhoff. I think that's her name.
Yep, Katie Sackhoff.
Brilliant performance by her.
She's awesome.
I think she did such a great job of the complexity of her role and the ranges she has to go through from the beginning to the end of the movie. Is a completely different person. And I feel like these are like the discussions that need to happen more, and I'm happy to say that these discussions are happening a lot more often, where we're seeing these bigger performances out of horror films. And, obviously one of the ones that got the biggest snub was Toni Collette. But watching Kitty Sackhoff's performance in here too, I'm like, I feel like not a lot of people even talk about it in general, of how good of a performance it is, and the rest of the cast as well.
She'll be back in Exorcist. Or no, Carrie. She'll be back in Carrie. She's Carrie's mom. Yeah, she's gonna be Margaret.
Which I do love that Mike Flanagan has his like main cast members that kind of cycles through a little bit. But yeah, no, this movie is a blast. I love the story.
Sorry, I do got to correct myself. She's going to be Judith. She's going to be playing Margaret's mom, Carrie's grandmother. So she's going to be she's. I assume it's going to be more flashback type scenes, but she's going to be playing Judith Brigham, or maybe not. I mean, he did age up, blanking out her name, but he did age up one of his characters in Midnight Mass, which was great. But yeah, so sorry for interrupting you. Samantha Sloyan is going to be Carrie's mom, which makes more sense because Samantha Sloyan does a great job playing crazy.
Fair.
One of my favorites in the Mike Flanagan lineup is her, dude. Like I swear to God, that is one of like my white whale guests that I want us to have on the show. Is Samantha Sloyan. No. Like I genuinely think she is so masterful, and I believe she truly needs to be more or talked about more, because I
agree.
She hits the mark every single goddamn time since Hush, and she only was in Hush for 3 minutes.
Yeah, and you care about that character and everything too. Yeah.
God damn, Samantha Sloyan is fantastic. She's in The Pit as well for like a second, and it's she is honestly probably one of my favorite actresses right now. So if you're listening to this, Samantha Slillian, I would love to have you on the show because I just want to talk to you.
Because you're awesome and you do great work.
Because you're awesome and you're incredible. So yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
No, I mean, this is what we love to do, right? We talk about great movies, great actors, great directors, great stories. And that's what's really good about our platform, celebrating movies and talking about all these different things and these different elements, where a movie like Oculus on paper should not work as well as it does.
Yeah. Hunted glass.
Yeah, it's like a mirror that haunts you and deteriorates you slowly. But there's rules, there's regulations, there's effects it has it, the dying plants, the dog disappearing, all of the history and lore that they go through with all the different families that have encountered the glass. They really built an entire world around this. And I love how we talked about also the projects of Mike Flanagan having the laser glass. Is that what it's called?
The laser glass.
The laser glass inside all of his other projects as well as like behind the scenes stuff, a little Easter egg here and there. You love to see it, and also seeing the book of Midnight Mass and some of his other projects too. I love that this is kind of like a shared universe within the Flanagan world that he has created. But long story short, I absolutely fucking love this movie. You know, I was just self-reflecting with this movie as it was about a mirror. That's right. Terrible jokes.
Nice.
It's a great movie.
I'm right there with you, man. I am right there with you. I think this movie is absolutely incredible. I am proud to say that I've seen everything that Mike Flanagan has done, including his movies that he's helped produce as well. For example, a lot of people don't know this, but Oculus was remade. Oculus has a remake. It was remade in 2017. It was remade in India, and I believe I don't know how to fully pronounce it, but it's called Dubara, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Interesting.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's very well done. I think it translates to see your evil. Still, really, really great shit. I that one was awesome, but Oculus is fantastic. I think Oculus is so incredibly well done. It's such a good, poignant way for how Mike Flanagan came on the scene. It was made by WWE Studios, which what? But you know, I mean, granted, WWE Studios was always making horror movies because they did See No Evil with Kane.
Right.
So for him to come on the map like this, and also this being a Blumhouse picture as well, it really helps to kind of put him out there a little bit more
exposure for sure.
Exactly. And I mean, for him to practically almost immediately follow up with Hush, and granted, in 2016, that was when Mike Flanagan was on a fucking speed run tear, folks. I shit you not, man. He had Hush, Before I Wake, and Ouija, Origin of Evil. 3 movies to come out in 2016.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
This dude was the home run king. And not to mention, he was in production for Gerald's Game, focusing on post-production at the tail end of 2016 to get Gerald's Game released in 2017 on Netflix. Dude was unstoppable. And don't even get me started, because as soon as he was done with Gerald's Game, you know what he fucking did? You know what he did? At Hill House.
No?
Doctor Sleep.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Dr.
Was Hill House after Doctor Sleep?
Hill House Hill House was before Doctor Sleep, because Hill House came out in 2018. He was working on Hill House in 2016.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then Gerald's Game, pretty much it was like a culmination of hey, can I also use you for this other movie that I'm working on? And you're in one location the entire time. It should be a quick one. But that's when he brought Carla Gugino. But that's when he brought her in
as well.
She's great. She's great.
Love everything.
Bringing her in for Hill House as well. But yeah, I mean, dude, come on. It's just, he was unstoppable, man. He was genuinely on just a fucking terror. Yeah, it still is. So I'm excited to dive into this goddamn movie, man. Because I want to talk about the Laser Glass because we have lots to say about the Laser Glass. Like you mentioned, it's in almost all of his projects. The only project that it's not a part of. Do you want to take a guess, Freddie?
I would say it was his latest TV show, which I'm blanking on the name. It's the Edgar Allan Poe one.
Oh, the fall of the House
of Usher. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is there. It's in the bar. It's when the siblings are talking. It's when the siblings are talking in the bar.
Party. Okay.
Yep, the New Year's party. It's in the background. You want to take another guess?
Can I get a clue? TV show or movie?
Movie.
Fuck. Okay, there's a lot less TV shows. I'm going to guess one of them. So there's a process of elimination. In a movie, I want to say probably Gerald's Game because the setting is pretty out there.
That's a great guess, and you're kind of correct. The Laser Glass is not inside of Gerald's Game. However, the frame of the mirror is the bed frame of the bed.
That doesn't count. Fuck that. I knew about that.
So you're kind of correct. The only movie that is not a part of, or the only Mike Flanagan project it's not a part of, is The Life of Chuck. So it's not in The Life of Chuck. It's almost missable in Dr. Sleep. However, it is in the hallway when Danny goes through looking for the the room to kill the house. So there you go. So there it is. Let's go ahead and jump into this, man, because obviously we got a lot to talk about.
Let's do it.
Oculus, directed by Mike Flanagan, released April 11th, 2014, with a runtime of 1 hour and 44 minutes, with a budget of $5 million and a great box office of $44.4 million.
Hell yeah.
Rating of 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. I could see why people would rate it that way, but I disagree.
75% is great, especially for a horror film.
It's good.
But it deserves a lot more.
Especially for a horror film that came out in 2014.
Right. Well. I would give it high 80s, I would say, is where I feel like it needs to be at.
I would say in the 2010s, you can inflate the horror reviews a little bit.
15%.
Yeah,
exactly. A little influx.
You can inflate them a little bit. But we open straight to the title card before cutting to young Kaylie with blood on her face, watching her father Alan walking around the house with a gun. As soon as he walks out of the room, she and her younger brother Tim rush toward the locked front door. A female ghost stands in the shadows. She stifles his cries as they're faced with a gun. By their own dad. But instead of it being their dad, it's Tim. But older, pulling the trigger. As he's telling his doctor, Dr. Graham, about this shift in his dream, he vouches for Tim's discharge for the psychiatric hospital on his 21st birthday. Cut to Kaylie bidding for the Laser Glass at an auction. And this is interesting because Kaylie is... she's technically not like an auctioneer. She works for her husband's,
but she works at the auction house essentially.
Right, which is her husband's heir
business. Yeah,
it's not his; it's his dad's. But it's his. Right. He's heir to that company. But it's his family business. The Dumont auction, I think, is what it's called. So she's bidding that for a client. So it's rich people shit, which I thought the mirror would have gone for a little bit more. It went for $10,000, which is still very expensive for a mirror. But for a mirror of that stature, I'm just I feel like that would be more expensive than that. It's just maybe I'm being naive.
You're right.
Say it again.
What did I say? $5? Yeah,
$5. Yeah, exactly. That's how much it would be. Also, fun fact in this little scene right here, it's gonna be a lot of them. But fun fact in this scene right here. Mike Flanagan's ex-wife is the auctioneer. This is a super fun fact. His current wife is in this movie, and his ex-wife is also in this movie. So
I feel like I missed where Kate is in this. Where is she?
She's the ghost.
Oh, that's
she's
cool.
the ghost in the mirror. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So his ex-wife is here. This is after she just had their child and all that great stuff. So. I don't know where the timeline is where he made Kate, but we're not here to talk about his personal business. The auctioneer shares the details, confirming that this is from Kaylee's childhood. Dr. Graham confirms that Tim is going to be picked up by Kaylee as she continues bidding on the mirror. She declines her fiance from coming to the house, wanting to do this alone, and Graham agrees that the reconnection with his sister is important, but his mental recovery is also important. After Kaylee wins the auction, she picks up Tim from the facility. While at lunch, she hands him a check for his half of the estate. She hands over some studio listings, offering for him to stay with her. He explains why he denied her visits to see him, and she understands. She breaks this heartfelt moment by whispering that she found the mirror, almost excited as she shares the trials to obtain it, but since it is about to ship out to a new buyer, they only have a few days to actually destroy it. 11 years earlier, the Russell... by the way, this movie is not nightlight friendly. There's a lot of jumping around back and forth.
Different timelines.
I'm going to try my best to say, hey, this is in the past, this is in the present. So there's a lot of time cuts and time jumps in this movie. So it's not nightlight friendly, but we're going to try our best. But before we even jump into that, like, cool, we got some well-established stuff already. Right.
Oh, yeah.
We got
Off
the siblings.
We know their relationship, that they're pretty much estranged a little bit.
Exactly.
They still care for each other. They've had their relationship when they were younger, that they really relied on each other. They have a little bit of loyalty, but they haven't been communicating for the last, 11 years or something like that?
11 years.
Which is a long time. But immediately, when this guy gets out of the hospital after being through such a traumatic experience, she's like, "I found it. Let's get back into it."
let's put you back in that spiraling mentality of yours.
Yeah.
It's one of these things where it makes me think about how someone who deals with mental health and how it's so important for you to protect your own peace.
Oh, for sure.
You know, because it's because if I was in his shoes, I would be like, fuck no, do not involve me in that. If that's something that you want to do it yourself. Like that, right. No, I'm done. That part of my life is a chapter that I closed, and whatever, you know, I've come to terms with that. But for Kaylee, she made that promise or whatever with him, where she's like, don't forget, like, we need to make sure we destroy the glass or blah, blah, blah. And for them, it just makes it a little bit of like an ebb and flow a little bit here, but
there's tension between them because of the two different motivations that they have. He's trying to get over it. She's trying to finish what they started.
Exactly.
Which you can understand where they're both coming from. They both have a legit reasons, like, you promised that we would come back together and just destroy this thing. I get where she's coming from, but in her eyes, her motivation is absolutely destroying his own, like, mental health, like you said, which is, like, heartbreaking.
Because he doesn't believe it's real. He doesn't believe that really happened. He believes he made it up as a child. And
she should have just destroyed it and then told him, it's like, hey, here's a photo of the destroyed mirror. You're welcome.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like if she would have done this by herself, I think the outcome would have been different. Yeah, how much control would she have had over the situation, you think?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times where they play tricks on each other, but
that's what I love about the movie. The whole thing is a one big chess game of who can outplay who, and the mirror is like a great opponent, which I love that, and that's what makes this movie work. It's just like the constant back and forth of, like, who's trying to outwit who, which is
that's true.
Yeah, brilliant.
It is something that is pretty brilliant in terms of how they focus on so much on the aspect of good versus evil or whatever, right? Like it's just, and also the concept of, like, is the glass actually doing this to them? I like to believe that it is.
Right, if it's all psychological, which would be crazy movie as well.
It would be crazy, but I like to believe that it is doing this. I like to believe that it is possessed, especially where we see the Lasser glass ending up in Mike Flanagan projects. It was even in Absentia as well. It was in the office of the psychiatrist or psychologist, I believe. So it's in there as well. Sure. But the Russells move into their new home, and it is overwhelming as fuck. Kaylee and Tim are running around playing laser tag. I assume it's laser tag. They played that a lot. They really liked playing laser tag. While Mary, their mother, assists the movers by pointing in directions for them to place the furniture, and she's just like, "Oh my god, I'm so tired for telling other people to move my furniture. I thought that was hilarious. Alan is working at his desk. They drop off the mirror in his office before Mary shuts the door to ask about his additional spending on furniture. He charms his way out of the conversation as they discuss his choice in the mirror. Back with the modern day siblings in a shitty motel, it's something that Tim prefers for some reason. She reminds him of the promise that they made about not forgetting what happened, wanting his help to destroy the mirror tomorrow. We're now back in the past, sorry. Mary looks at the cesarean scar in the mirror, bringing up how much more noticeable it is to her husband. He kisses her stomach as she brings up that they have a lot more to do around the house, ignoring that request with more kisses since he put together the bed. Later that night, Alan grabs a juice box in his bare fridge. Tripping over a box on the floor as he's walking back upstairs, he notices the ghost of Marisol, but she disappears, and that is Kate Siegel. So she is Marisol. Cool. He turns the light on in his office, the reflection showing that he spilled juice on his, I assume, his favorite shirt.
He was so mad. But it was so funny that he went downstairs just for like a juice box and just like, cool.
I think he went down for something else, and he was just like, I'll settle for this half-drinking juice box my kids didn't finish.
Exactly.
Like, as a parent, I felt that to the 10th degree. Like,
I don't have my own stuff. It's just the kids'
definitely
stuff.
have done that before.
Grab the juice box.
Oh, I've definitely, like, my daughter loves Scooby snacks. They're like these little graham crackers.
Is it the gummies? The graham crackers.
No, the graham crackers, and she loves them, and I really wanted Oreos one day, and I was checking our cabinetry, and I was like, oh man, really want some Oreos, and I thought I had more, but turns out that my kid ate them before I got to them, and I was like, well, so Scooby snacks it is. like,
well, you ate mine. I'll eat yours.
So, yeah, and they're good. They're really good. They're like cinnamon graham crackers in the shape of bones. They're great. Older Kaylie wakes up from the sound of her dog barking. She ends up in her dad's old office with a lasso on the wall. When she turns around, it's her dad choking her. She wakes up screaming, holding her throat as Michael calms her down, lulling her back to sleep. In the morning, she's at her office signing contracts when Michael walks in, letting her know that he moved her computer off the network and gave her her own printer because he found crime scene photos of Marisol. I mean, legit reason for him to be enough. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
this is a what is going flag. On? And I don't know how long they are in a relationship with each other.
They're engaged, so that's all that I know.
Right. It's like, I don't even know how you would feel about that. Like, you just engaged this woman, she's printing out photos of, like, murder scenes, or not even murders, but just graphic deaths.
Yeah. Well, I think Marisol was dead. Like, I think she was. I think she was legit dead in the photo, but she died from birth, I believe.
Right.
Yeah. So, goddamn, brutal. She snatches them, hiding them under a folder. He brings up her transferring the laser glass. Kaylie excuses that Warren changed his mind on getting it fixed. Frankly, he doesn't give a shit about that. He just wants to know what's up with the crime scene photos. She sits beside him to tell him pretty much nothing. She's just like, don't worry about it. Like, pretty much is what she says.
Basically, just give me a week. I'll be with you. One week only.
What?
Back to normal next Friday. I swear, honey.
I was like,
just give me a week and I'll give you a lifetime of normalness. Okay.
This was so funny to me. I don't know why. It reminded me, like, after this part happened, it reminded me of the song that was on TikTok for a little while. It was the guy who sings...
Cry, what does he say? It's like... Sister.
No, no, it was I think it was called the Dirt Man. He was like giving dirt to the Dirt Man or some shit like that. But it reminded me of that for some reason because it was just like she was saying a whole bunch of nothing, just like this guy. And I don't know why it popped into my head for some odd reason. And maybe go listen to it, promising him that it'll go back to normal in a few days. While preparing for the transfer, Kaylie needs to get a look at the covered glass. She rips down the cloth, greeting the glass while caressing the sides, knowing that it hungers for more souls. She hopes that the shatter still hurts before noticing that 3 covered figures turn toward her direction, looking back at only being 2 of them, even though the mirror shows 3. But now, when she looks back, there are 3. So she pulls the sheets down to reveal 2 statues, about to pull down the 3rd, but she's startled by Warren. She looks back to see that the figure is gone, pleased that the mirror still has some juice left. Tim calls her, wanting to patch things up. She agrees to meet with him, wanting him to come to their childhood home. Cut to Mary about to water her plants, but they're all withered. By the way, once again, we're in the past.
Real quick, that sequence with the mirror and the 3 figures with the cloth works so damn good. The only gripe I have with this movie is that she chose the other 2 ones to unveil first, knowing the 3rd one wasn't there first, and then not going for that one directly. And I'm just like, you saw that's the one that's popped up. Why didn't you just check that one first? But at the same time, the whole entire sequence, loved it. It was so well crafted. So much good tension building and a really good release with the co-workers carrying her again.
That was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good. Extremely creepy.
And it's funny how she like loves it too. She's like smiling, like, okay, I like to play games. Like what?
I know. It's
the
almost
normal
as
person would be
if
terrified, but she's like, I'm game. Like this is a one-on-one.
It's like she's trying to size it up. Like she's ready to square up with this mirror, and it's like
catch me outside. How about that? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, she's like
she's ready for the smoke. She's so like, I'm game. All right,
you're playing games right now? So okay, I figured out how to break the glass. I would just throw it off a grenade
and walk away,
or that. Yeah, but I would throw it off a building. Like, you have it covered and you can transport it. So just like, I would take those opportunities to just transport it somewhere high up and just throw it off. See what happens. Right. It switches spots with me. We're just like, no! As you're falling down.
That's the thing. You can play mind games. Like, you think you're pushing it off the roof and you're pushing off your brother off the roof. It's like, what? Like, it just happens. It's like, yeah.
You're like, I didn't even know you got out. Like,
yeah. No, this glass is very threatening, which is hard to do for in that like movable object. But
yeah, I agree.
It didn't make it work.
Alan wraps up his phone call before hearing faint whispers surrounding the mirror. The kids are playing outside when younger Kaylie notices her dad with another woman in his office. During dinner time, Alan is extremely anxious, chewing his fingernails down to where he's bleeding. Gross. Yeah. He grabs a Band-Aid. Kaylie breaks from her argument with her mom to ask about the woman she saw in his office today. He's annoyed, wanting to know who she's talking about, claiming that he doesn't know before walking off. And even Mary is like, yeah, Dad, who was in your office today? And it was just like, oh. I like how they justify it, though, in terms of, like, if it is real versus could it be fake or whatever, where they had the justification of, like, he was having an affair and he was, going behind their mom's back.
There's a lot of breadcrumbs enough to fill the other story as well. Like, It's just as believable that it didn't happen than it actually was happening, which is good. Yeah. It's well crafted, and that's what good storytelling has a good effect on with this movie.
Exactly. In the present day, Tim is staring at the corner of the house until Kaylie comes in. She releases her unnamed dog, which she literally calls a dog, allowing Tim to have a look around since he hasn't been there since his dad went ballistic. He goes upstairs to one of the bedrooms where a chain once was on the wall, which is brutal when we get to see what that chain is used for. Kaylie shares how the house sat on the market until she was released from foster care when she was 18. She asks for his help to bring in the mirror before he leaves. They gently place it down and she unwraps it. He notices the hole from the anchor above that is placed on a kill switch. She understands if he doesn't want to stay, but she's ready to begin. He agrees to stay for a little bit and she smiles, hitting record for each camera before introducing them. Why do you think he decided to stay? Do you think he was just morbidly curious if, like, his, trying to, like, see, like, are the events that happened in my childhood actually real?
Right. It's his own curiosity that's holding him back from leaving. It's just, like, also seeing how planned out she is. He's kind of, like, just curious, like, what is she up to type of deal, too. I think he's curious more about, was it real? But also the fact that his sister's acting so strange and wants to be there for her as well. Because it does give me that vibe. It's like, you set this whole entire stuff up. Yeah, I'll stay for a little bit just to see what you're up to.
Yeah. I think you're right.
A lot
'Cause
of
I feel like
curiosity.
he's curious as to like what is she doing and why is she going to these heights to do the things that she's doing.
Right. And
So.
maybe she's right. Is behind his
Yeah.
head a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Tim moves out of the way as she continues sharing how her experiment will work with the use of multiple alarms. It also, I think her fault was she was trying to prove that the mirror was actually haunted instead of just letting the kill switch
Destroying
do
it.
its thing.
Yeah.
Just let the
she
kill
wants to
switch go.
prove to everyone that she is not crazy and her brother's not crazy. She's trying to get the evidence to clear their name, essentially, but it's not worth it. This is definitely what puts her in a bad position.
I would have stopped recording. You know what? I'll wait until we get there because I have a perfectly good reason why I would have stopped recording. Wanting to prove that the Lasser glass is a haunted object since it was responsible for 45 deaths in the past 4 centuries. Tim wants to stop her, but she snatches the remote, not wanting him to stop the recordings. Kaylie starts showing pictures of all of the owners of the mirrors, starting with Philip Lasser in 1755. She's interrupted by a call from Michael, where she requests that he call her on the hour, sharing this information with the camera before continuing how each person died in obtaining the mirror. Lasser died by being burned to death. The next owner, Robert Clancy, didn't have a cause of death, but he died too. Mary O'Connor died from dehydration in the bathtub. Alice Carden drowned her children and was found in the nursery with self-inflicted shattered bones. She didn't die though, until later.
That's when
Kaylie
she hit
mentions
it with a hammer, right?
Yeah, she was breaking it with.
She's like the
with a
only
hammer.
brain. I like how she like really emphasized like the only bone she didn't break was her right hand because she
The
needed
one
it
she used
with a hammer. Her like eccentric like mannerisms in this like entire speech is so funny to me. But she's so like happy to like. I'm gonna prove them that this is
she's,
like all
giddy
real.
about it.
Like this is my
Yeah.
investigation. I did all the work. I set up all these cameras. Like I'm gonna defeat this thing, and she's so like hyped up about it, which is so funny.
Yeah,
But it
she's
works.
very giddy about how like everything is happening, I guess, or like with
Like,
how
she did her
everything
thing.
happened.
She did her research. Like,
She did. She definitely did. Yeah, she definitely did.
She ready for it.
It's very. I like Karen Gillan's performance in this. I think she does
for
a
sure.
pretty good job for sure. You know how tall she is? She's like 6 foot. I did not know that she
I
was
bet.
that tall.
I
Like,
think I
did
realized
not
that
know
when she was in the Jumanji movie.
Oh, okay.
Especially when Kevin Hart was like there as well. It's like,
I mean,
oh,
but
yeah,
Kevin Hart's
she's-
like
I know, but
like
just that much
4'10".
taller.
Like-
you can tell. Yeah.
But yeah, he's.
I think she's a phenomenal actress. I love all the work that she's done. A lot of people haven't seen her movie called Duel.
Duel?
It's a very small film, but I would recommend it too.
It's a good one.
Really well done.
It's the doppelganger one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Kaylie mentions the dogs that they had on their property before remembering their dog walking by. The alarm sounds off for them to eat. While eating, Tim wonders who this is all for, and Kaylie is doing this for all the doubters who blamed Alan. It would have been hilarious if he was like, "Is that necessary? Can't we just like kill the thing and leave? Like, is that necessary for us to?"
Right. She wants to also
like-
prove her dad's innocence, which I get it, but
Yeah, but your dad's
Yeah.
dead.
yeah.
Like, you know, so it's like even though you prove
Clear
his
the family
innocence.
name.
I
No,
guess
you
that's
don't.
what it
You
is,
don't
to
have
clear the
to.
family name. But like, I'm just like, are you still like, are people still bringing this up to you? Like, what makes you want to do that? You know, like, are people just like,
Right.
your dad's a murderer? He's always a murderer.
They're always outside her door.
They're always
screaming.
outside your house. Like,
Like,
you seem
She's
like you
it
have
needs
a
to stop.
really,
I need to sleep.
you seem like you have
I'll
a
prove
really
them
good
wrong.
life, extremely
Yeah.
put together life, and you're going through all these means to prove that your dad's innocence, which I get it, but it's just like, what is that going to do? Who's going to care? I guess that's where
Also,
I'm getting at.
it would
Like,
be
who's
kind
going
of
to care?
funny where it's like she does prove the innocence. Like, all right, cool. Your dad's not the killer, but you broke a $10,000 glass. You're going to jail.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Although you proved your
stole.
innocence, you're going to jail. So you're not
Yeah.
innocent. And then that's how the movie ends.
Congratulations. She slaps him after he tries to claim that their dad was a murderer, getting back up to continue sharing the deaths. Tobin Cap starved to death in his bedroom. Marcia Wicker chews through a live power line, and Marisol Chavez dies from a miscarriage. Tim finds this to be bullshit, bringing up the unfortunate events that happened after they bought a couch. She gets back to it, concluding the final death of Mary, who was tortured to death. And he wants her to say the truth, that their mom was killed by their dad, and Tim was the one to kill Alan. Trying not to cry, Kaylie wants to prove that these people were all victims of the mirror. Tim doesn't understand why they can't smash it. She grants him permission to smash it. He picks up a chair, but he unnoticeably puts the stool down as he wonders how many records she combed through to support her narrative. Knowing the reasons why he put the stool down, she points out that the only person, Oliver Jeffries, who tried to break it, only sat there before walking into traffic. Kaylie knows that it is disarmed, but he keeps trying to spout what he learned at the mental facility about breaking out of her own delusions. She takes this opportunity to share that the anchor is on a kill switch above, moving Tim out of the way. It goes off, smashing into the wall, knowing that the mirror will be eager to defend itself while they have a loaded gun to its head, quote unquote.
Like how she's like doing the mannerisms, she's like, yeah, he'll try to defend itself while it has a gun to its head. It's like, what? it's like, are you okay?
Like, so are we shooting it, or are we gonna have the anchor fall down on it? Like, what are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
But like in that moment, like she could have just had the mirror up already and could have possibly been done already.
Right, but she's got to prove
because it sounds like the mirror needs like a moment to charge, right? Because like it started off where it was only killing a few plants, and then it started off to where it pretty much took over the whole house with its presence. So like it feels like there had to have been like a moment of like a period, because it was starving for so long, 11 years. It was starving for so long that it feels like it wasn't fully charged and ready to go, if you know what I mean.
Low power mode.
Exactly, yeah. Trying to preserve its batteries over the years. But charged up real good because she was taking too damn long. Cut to Alan working late. He gets frustrated that he's not able to type well with the bandage on his finger. He rips it off his finger just so it can end up back on his finger again. Trying to rip it off again, but he can't. So bring out the stapler remover instead. Why would you use that? Out of everything. Do people still use those? Do people still use those staple removers? I'm sure they do.
Probably not as often.
You don't think so? Because I feel like I don't see them at all. Yeah. I used to play with my mom's all the time because like it reminded me of like a bat. I was like,
sure.
Because it looks like teeth. Looks like teeth. Yeah. It reminded me of a bat, and it would remind me of stormtroopers. So. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that does look like it. Fair. Mm-hmm. That's fair.
As he's prying away, it ends up being his fingernail that he's shredding into, accompanied by whispering echoes. After putting on another Band-Aid, he goes to pick up a book from the floor before calling his children into the office, reminding them not to play in his office due to all the books lying on the ground. And they're like lied down in a...
like open down the middle, like spine.
Yeah, like it's intentional. Yeah. Like they didn't just fall or whatever. Right. Like it's very intentional how it's displayed. So... yeah. Do you think that really was there though, or do you think it was in all their heads? Because at this point, I think
they're like, we didn't do that.
Right.
They're quick on it too. They're like, that wasn't us.
But like the presence of the mirror is now kind of feel like it's starting to take over more. Right?
For sure.
Because like we have
which is
two
probably
sides.
The dad doing it and not remembering it, because now we can see that that's an option as well for a lot of these characters to do things and not remember doing them.
That's true. I feel like the presence of this mirror started taking over quite a bit
now.
At this point, yeah, because we have everyone is having their own type of experiences at this point. So we have Mary, who is initially just having like these very self-inflicted, self-conscious feelings about herself. She jabs at herself and she kicks herself when she's down, and she also is having trust issues with Alan because she thinks he's having an affair, and then Alan is he's turning cold and he's quick with his responses, and he's mean. He's just mean, and then the kids.
Like you said it. He's very cold. He's very like
talking
to a wall sometimes.
Yeah, like standoffish.
and her insecurities are just growing and growing and growing, especially when she's looking at her scar and herself and not feeling loved and feeling ignored by her husband, trying to deal with all the kids. She's slowly losing it. Which she by far has the saddest story out of everybody in the movie.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. She was chained into her room and like forced to eat plates and shit. Like, yeah, she was. God. That was such a brutal scene. I forgot how dark that scene was. Like, yeah. Damn.
Her Kaylie and Tim.
Yeah. Kaylie and Tim both admit that they didn't do it. Alan claims that he can hear them messing around in his office at night, wanting them to cut that. Okay. Concluding that he wants them to stop killing Marie's plants. Mary. I keep wanting to say Marie, but it's Mary. Mary. They pronounce it Mary in the movie. Present-age Tim finds that the issue with the plants was due to the water supply, remembering that they drank from a Brita. Kaylie lists that all those who died had dead plants before their death. He points out that all of their plants are still alive. She understands that it takes time, using the dog as bait for the mirror to feed on, apologizing to the little fellow as their timer to drink water alarms. Tim remembers back to when they had their childhood dog Mason and when the dog was sick. Alan and Mary argue about his buying of a gun and how it doesn't make her feel safe. As she's about to leave the room, he calls her a grotesque cow, but claims that he didn't say anything when she turns around, frowning at her appearance in the reflection. Damn, this is brutal.
This was so out of pocket and came out of nowhere. I even remember watching it for the first time. I'm just like, yo, what did he say? Just the way it's said too, in such a like foul way. It's like, you grotesque cow. Dude, I was just like, damn. Like, yeah, that would hit like the fucking heart right there. It's like that. The way it was said was so like honest. Like
yeah, exactly. That's the best way you can probably put it. Is like the way that he said it was
like,
with
I'm
such
disgusted
conviction
by you. Yeah.
And honesty of how disgusted he is with her and her appearance. But he didn't say it. You know, the mirror said it, right? The mirror said it, and it's forcing her to have these insecurities and so on, which is a great context for it being an evil mirror, because of how like there's like an epidemic of like people who struggle with vanity, you know, and they have like these aspects of where they're looking at themselves in the mirror consistently, and they're trying to check their weight, and they're trying to do all these things to ensure that the mirror sees them that the way that they want to see themselves. And it's such a heartbreaking thing to contextualize it in the way that we have it here, where the way that Alan utilizes the mirror in this relationship as just a piece of furniture, right? But how Mary uses the mirror is very much in the way of vanity and kind of showcasing where she can see her flaws more. It's the only way that she can see her flaws besides a camera or a picture, right? But in the movie, this is the only way that they showcase it, how she's able to see her flaws come to on the surface, and she's feels that like everybody else can see these things, and that's why that grotesque cow quote hits so hard. And good for her for standing on business, where she was just like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
Yeah.
Like what did you just call me? And
she's lucky she left it at that.
Yeah, for real. Later that night, Mason is barking at Alan's office door. Mary tries to open the door, but the dog bites her. And the door is locked. Voices and whispers are heard on the other end until Alan opens the door, not revealing who he's speaking with. Because at first he yells like, I'm working, is like the first thing he yells. And then when she tries to open the door, that's when she gets bit. He becomes agitated as she brings up the dog bite. They argue about his demeanor towards his work, waking up Kaylie in her room. And he also even has that moment here where when she asks, like the dog bit me, he's like, are you okay? Like, he's just like what?
Semi-caring, but not caring.
Yeah, or like forcing to care, you know, where it's just like she's such an inconvenience for him in this moment, and it's heartbreaking. Like you said, she gets the worst end of the stick here for sure.
It's like, are you gonna do anything about that dog? And he's just like, I didn't hear anything, whatever. He's so like monotone at this point.
Yeah. He even says like, tether her up. And that's what we get later, right? Like we get foreshadowing to him treating Mary as a dog, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the morning, Alan tells his kids to stay out of his office while he's out. Mary is scrubbing a stain out of the rug as Mason continues barking at the office door. Irritated, she allows him inside and instantly regretting that decision, but the door is locked. The kids wait until Alan comes home, and Mary wants him to do something with the dog. When he goes inside, Mason is nowhere to be found. Present day. Tim feels that Kaylie is misremembering, bringing up how sick their dog was. A quick cut to the past, based on his memory, is interrupted when Kaylie claims to have sat outside the office all day long. He shares the fuzzy trace theory on how adults combine fuzzy sections of memories into false memories. He continues explaining how her memory got fucked. He removes the drape off the cage to reveal that the dog is still there and it wasn't eaten by the mirror. Once again, she wants him to give it some more time. Flashback. Kaylie and Tim. Oh, I guess I started writing them in where I was like, flashback. Kaylie and Tim wake up to her parents arguing about him talking to unknown people and the death of the plants. They go downstairs, causing them to stop arguing, and Mary tucks Kaylie in, apologizing for waking her. She wonders if they were fighting because of the woman in the office. Back to the present day, and Kaylie hopes that he remembers the woman, but he chalks it up to more rational possibilities. The alarm sounds, and she adds more time to the kill switch. They continue their convincing arguments. She's convinced that Mary was always home, while he was convinced that she wasn't. Quick flashback to the day that Kaylie spotted the woman, who was supposedly having an affair, hiding the woman behind his back. Tim argues that Alan was a cheater who drove Mary crazy, but she doesn't accept that. While they are arguing whether their dad had an affair or not, the room gets 3 degrees warmer, and the dog starts barking until she quiets it down. She stops his rationalizations by wanting him to check to see if the phone lines are down, but when he tries the phone, it's a dial tone. He feels that his sister has gotten sick, letting the whimpering dog out of the cage, allowing it to run outside, which... You just let this dog go?
I know. I felt so bad for the dog too. I was just like, what?
You couldn't just put the dog in the car or something? Like you let it go?
With the window open as well? But no, it's for real. It's like, look, there's dog. Then she just releases it. But yeah, I'm happy the dog escaped at least.
Me too.
At least that's good.
Me too.
So I was just like, cute little pup too.
But it's just like this dog now roaming around the streets.
Hopefully it's just in the backyard somewhere, just chilling.
That's what I'm hoping, that it's just it ran in the backyard and they just left it in the backyard or something.
They just have a big ass yard because it looked like it goes on forever. But hopefully it's just one big backyard. Hopefully. Yeah. The dog is fine. That's what
the dog is fine, folks. The dog is fine. He's confident that this is all in her head.
The other dog that disappeared, he found out the family didn't love him enough, so he went to another family and found love somewhere else, and that's where he ended up. So there you go.
The family inside the Lasser glass. There's a whole heap of family inside there.
To love him forever.
And ever. He's confident that this is all in her head because nothing that she said will happen, has happened yet. He
I don't know why I imagined like someone gets the glass, the next house, and it's just a bunch of like dogs with glowing eyes. Like, we're all the dogs that disappeared.
That would
that'd be haunting as well.
I would be so scared. Oh my! I feel like that would be worse than seeing the people.
So a bunch of different types of dogs just with glowing eyes.
That'd be terrifying. That'd be terrifying. Oh man, I guess we do get a scene similar to that in Midnight Mass where we get the cats on the island.
Cats, yeah. Oh, such a good, scary scene.
That's such a good show. Such a good show. He blames himself for her not receiving the same help that he did. She cries as he apologizes, wanting them to get out of there, but she doesn't know where they're supposed to go. Tim suggests that they can go anywhere, wanting to call Michael for help. When she walks back to the room, she's relieved that the mirror has finally taken this message from our sponsor. And we're back. Instead, she's actually relieved that it has finally presented itself while they were not inside the room. The cameras are facing each other, and the plants are dead, and it's at 78 degrees in the room when the room was originally 73 degrees. So it got hotter in the room.
Spooky mirror, change the thermostat. What an asshole.
It's hot. She childishly celebrates while grabbing the mounted camera on the wall to check the footage. And by childish, she's like, ha! Fucking told you so. Like, ah!
Her excitement in this movie is so fun.
just sticking her tongue out at him. It's just like, oh. You remember in Pokemon, like what they would do to like make fun of someone?
Oh,
no, not like a tongue. Yeah, no, they would like pull their eye down. They went, right. I never understood that, but I was just like, I guess it's funny. I guess it's supposed to be funny. I never understood it even as a kid. I was just like,
okay. There's a lot of weird stuff that kids do nowadays that I don't understand, but it's all part of every kid's childhood. Yeah. Doing weird things.
Tim and Kaylie are continuing their argument while moving the plants and the cameras. She smiles as she doesn't remember doing any of that while Tim is fucking spiraling right now. He's like, oh my God. He's like, I can't see anything. Like, he is spiraling right now, wanting access to his phone to call the doctor. This is the moment where I would have stopped recording. I would not have recorded anymore. Like, this is the moment where I would be like, okay, all of our recordings will be absolutely useless and it will prove nothing. Therefore, let's skip back to step 4 and kill this thing because we don't need to prove it anymore because it's not going to allow us to prove anything. It showed on camera that we are moving the cameras ourselves. So it's obviously going to show everything as we're the ones who are doing it all. Right. Nobody else. So it's not going to work. So I would have stopped recording in that moment, but would have been me, I guess. She stops him, allowing him to take his phone away from the radius of influence, as she calls it. Michael calls her, and she answers it, knowing that it was a 50-50 chance that it was either him or not.
Alex, like, don't call. You don't even know who you're going to be talking to. Wait, hold on. I'm getting the call real quick.
Let me take this phone call real quick. Yeah. And she also said that she wanted him to call on the hour.
Right.
But he didn't. He called at 7:57 or whatever. So my theory is he was trying to call her multiple times, but she wasn't answering. So he thought something was wrong, so he showed up to the property.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I think he did what he did. And why he got. He got. Kaylie films and checks their radius, and she checks it by checking like how many dead plants there are. So,
how spaced out it is. Like, we're still safe in the kitchen. Blah, blah, blah. Sure.
Which I feel like it would have been better to have thermostats though, like more thermostats, because you can see it gradually getting more powerful versus it being like, oh, the plant's dead. Like, I feel like you can't really have a great consensus on how much power this thing has or how much power this thing is emitting.
Just more the radius is like cool.
Exactly.
The plant in the hallway is still good. That's still safe zoned.
Right.
Which I love that she thought of almost everything, essentially.
She had to, right? Like she did all her research and like started seeing patterns within her research. So therefore she was like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
So she calls him, but he's still inside the house, sitting on the floor, not understanding why he's still inside the house. That would have fucked me up.
Oh, I'd be like, all right, now it's time to like set up the trap.
We need to try to leave.
Away.
Like we need to try to leave because now it won't let us leave.
Right.
Like that would have fucked me up. Dude.
I feel like at that moment, I feel like you lost already. It's like,
100%.
I can't believe what I do next.
You're
even
officially
when I
in over
want
your head.
to, I can't.
Right. You're officially in over your head at that point, and you can't. There's nothing that you can do in this moment because it officially it won't let you leave. It manipulates you to force you to do things that you don't have recollection of doing. and it's only getting more powerful.
Right.
You lost. Like at that point, I would just focus on trying to get out and just let the kill switch do its thing. Just keep focusing on trying to get the fuck out of there and trying your best to remove yourself from this radius of influence, as she calls
it. Because I feel like at this level where the mirror is at, it's like, all right, that should be the final level. We should not let it surpass where it's at now because it's too powerful already. It's already gone to the point of no return almost, essentially.
Exactly. And that's why I think thermostats would have helped in more spots where she placed the plants, because you would be able to see the graduation in terms of how
measurements.
Like how its power is being moved throughout this house. After shoving a camera in his face, she reassures him that they're going to get through this since they're together. When she's just like, "Did you think you were outside? Can you say that again?" And she's like, put the camera all in his face. It's just, please stop. Another flashback of them playing video games on the couch. The vacuum goes idle, and Kaylie finds Mary standing there looking at her reflection. And she's standing inside the office. Dinner time with burnt toast and something inside of a bowl. It looked like porridge or like oatmeal or something. And Mary drinks wine as the kids wonder when their dad is coming home. She doesn't know, as she grows irritated, thinking that Alan is having an affair. Wanting Kaylie to tell her more about the woman in the office, she lies that she hadn't seen her, but Tim admits that he saw her the previous night. But she was on the stairs, thinking that she lives in the office.
That's also terrifying.
Dude.
I've seen her before.
Don't want my kid to say creepy shit.
Oh, Dad, my God. There was a woman on the stairs just staring at me. All right, well, we're moving to houses.
Time for us to move. Time for us to move. Got it. You know what? We'll start completely fresh. New furniture. After ordering the kids to play upstairs, she goes inside the office sharing the evidence of an affair. Sobbing when she finds a paper with Marisol's name written over and over as if he's in the 5th grade. It was like, Marisol and me forever. It was shit like that where I was just like, what?
It's like you're being seduced by a mirror. Marisol.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it goes to show you
her,
how childish the mirror even is, right? Like I truly believe that the mirror is still in its infancy, even though it's been around for 400 years. I still feel like it's in its infancy, and it does, because like the mirror obviously wants to have fun, right?
Yeah,
like it's like playing with its food.
Like if Loki was an inanimate object, it would be this mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She cleans up what she slid off the desk, picking up the cracked family picture. She throws a pin at the mirror, but it hits the wall. The mirror shifts her reflection to her smiling while opening her dress to reveal that her scar has opened.
Damn. The mirror was not having it. That was just like, did you just fucking throw something at me? Boom. Look at that shit, huh? Right back at you.
How you like them apples?
Yeah. Good reference for later.
There you go. Yeah. Her screams force the siblings to rush downstairs, finding her sobbing in front of the mirror. Tim approaches her, and she starts to choke him. Kaylie rips him away from her, and they run upstairs, locking themselves in the room. Dude, these kids look like they were legitimately being choked.
Oh, legit, yeah. And
My
also,
God.
when she started fucking running after them up the stairs and like barely grabbing them, this was terrifying. This was such a good scene. Just the flip of the switch of her being like, the mom too straight, I am going to attack you. I don't care, you're my children. And it felt real, like you said.
It did.
It felt very grounded and authentic and too realistic. But it worked very well for this movie.
It was scary. That's definitely a scary one. Like I could see...
Killing it.
Dude, she kills it. I was gonna say I petitioned. I didn't necessarily petition this, but I wanted her to play Abby in The Last of Us. But obviously, she's too old to play Abby. But I would have loved for them to go a different route instead of just repeating the games. If they would have just like made Abby older, I felt like she would have been perfect. She would have been perfect. She could have been our Joel. But no. She bangs on the door until Alan comes home, not understanding what's going on. She glares at him before grabbing his face. He fights her off, forcing her into a headlock to get her to stop thrashing. Fuck, dude.
Damn.
He legit, like...
Oh, yeah.
holding her against the wall. And like, I was like, this is intense.
No hesitation, dude. He's like, yep, this is what's happening now.
Yeah, like she's like hitting and slapping him, and he literally turns her arm, spin her around, and grabs her in a headlock and drops to the floor to include more pressure onto his headlock.
You're like, you know who made this movie? WWE, baby.
WWE, baby.
Tap out, tap out.
As he fucking does this Undertaker choke slam. The people's elbow down the stairs.
Off the stairs here. Down, going out to the kids.
The Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the music starts playing. He grabs 2 beers and just fucking starts
smashing it and chugs it. It's like,
or the Mick Foley, right? He grabs the sock.
Oh, no more sock talk. No more socks.
No more sock talk. Oh my god.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. He tells Kaylie to go back inside her room before calling for an ambulance. The mirror shifts to whispers, and he just hangs up the phone, dragging Mary's body into their room. Alan comes back up the steps with a hammer and chain, demanding that Kaylie go to bed. And the way that he does is just go to bed. Just
very monotone.
As he's walking past. Oh my god. Yeah. He even points the hammer at her almost as a threat.
Yeah.
That was scary. Back in the present day, Kaylie has Tim snap out of it as the alarm rings. They go back inside the office, and while she sets the cameras back up, Tim has a different perspective. Flashback to Alan telling them about their mom being sick and needing to stay in bed. I love how the light fizzes in the background right here, and as he's telling the story, and then both lights fizz out. Oh my god, it's
so good.
Such a good touch. Wanting them to stay away from the bedroom. Ignoring Kaylie's questions, allowing them to play video games in the office, the other light goes off, bringing us back to the present day with the alarm sounding. Kaylie gives him an apple while grabbing the box of light bulbs. She stares at him, remembering when he would blankly stand there. Another memory of Alan bringing up dinner for Mary. This is where he straight up just treated her like a dog. He would still feed her, but she would be confined to the room. Chained up to the room.
Right.
It's brutal.
It's so sad.
The light goes out again, but Tim is no longer there. She takes a bite from her apple while changing the bulb, but it immediately fizzes back out. She replaces it again, grabbing what she thought was an apple, but turns out that it was a bulb. So she thinks. She chokes and spits out the blood as she grabs the shard of her, out of her mouth. Tim snaps her out of it, and everything is back to normal. And I love her face where she's like,
but realistic is just like the shock. It's the shock of like going crazy at this point, and it looks good.
Yeah.
The bite of
flat
the bulb.
out hallucinating, and you know you're hallucinating, and you know why you're hallucinating.
Feeling the pain too. You're probably feeling the pain of the hallucination of the glass in your mouth, that bleeding. And it looks great.
That whole scene
terrifying.
was so incredible because she's walking back nonchalantly. She hears the crack as she bites down, and
then we look down as the audience after we hear
and
the
we
crack
see just a bloody light bulb.
What a bright idea that was. Light bulb. This scene was very fruitful. Honestly, there's a lot of great moments. That's all
anyway, she thinks she thinks it is a good idea for them to stay together. He remembers back to when they were kids, hearing Mary banging upstairs, and they had no food in the fridge. They burst into Alan's office, telling him that they don't have any food and that she wants to call a doctor for their mom. He answers with, "What's that, princess?" And that's on my list.
It's on my
while
list.
Keeping his eyes tuned on the mirror. Once again, he's at the mirror at an angle, so he's not looking at himself in the mirror. He's just looking at the mirror. So, or whatever's inside of it, I guess. But she goes upstairs to see her mom to tell her the situation. She goes down to inspect a broken plate. Mary is chained by the neck as she rushes toward him. Kaylie demands that her dad take their mom to the doctor. He slams his fist on the table, ripping away their privilege to leave the house. They tried calling multiple doctors, but the exact same voice said to have their father call. Cut to Kaylie bringing Bob in to speak to Alan, but he's able to convince him that everything is fine, and glaring at his children before going back inside his office. Kaylie and Tim watch from the banister. She wants them to be brave. Oh, dude, this is such a rough go. And this is what I mean, that I felt like they were also a part of the powers of the mirror. They were also kind of seduced by the powers of the mirror in a different way, because they are seeing the ghost walk around the house. They are, kind of interacting with their dad, who is also dealing with the effects of the mirror. So it's super interesting how they present a lot of this to us in a way to where, Kaylie is the one who is probably considered our narrator, or our protagonist rather, who is just not fully there. You know what I mean? Not as in mental state. It more so in terms of her and Tim are not on the same page.
Right.
Because she's still in the mode of, we have to prove this.
Right.
And Tim is
no, we
let's
don't.
Just fucking get this over with, dude. Let's just get this over with. But we get back to the present. Tim is upstairs while Kaylie wakes up in front of the mirror before the anchor goes off. She rushes over, twisting the kill switch before it goes off. The alarm sounds. She smashes it on the ground, calling for Tim. Once again, why didn't you just let it go?
Honestly, this was the moment.
I felt like that was the only time you would have been able to get away with
defeat it at this point. Yeah. Cool, you got me here. You almost got me. I got out of it, and now I could just let it fall.
Yeah.
But you choose to reset it again.
I'm gonna spoil ahead a little bit here. I'm gonna spoil the ending a little bit, because there's something I have to mention. I guess it's a little bit. But I'm gonna spoil it here because this is a genius move.
Entire time.
No. I feel like this is a genius move from Mike Flanagan's part. The glass wins.
Yeah.
And when the glass wins, it shows you the reason why I'm brewing the ending now is because in retrospect, you can see how just out of their element and in over their heads they are from the start.
Oh,
they were always losing. They never had the upper hand from the mirror. Never. Not once. They were always losing. Even with the flashbacks, I have a theory that the flashbacks were literally them thinking back in the moment of those things happening to them instead of just
they were
being
visualizing the flashbacks, the characters themselves. Well, that's where there's we haven't talked about it yet too, but there are moments where both timelines
they switch from kid to adult.
Yeah, they share the same space.
The timelines. Yeah,
they almost seem like to almost interact with each other as well at one point. But I have to say, editing wise and transition wise, this movie does a phenomenal job with the transitions between
beautifully
present and future, and telling two different. I forgot who said it was, either Allison or Farah. It's easy to follow. You never get lost on what is the present, what is the past, and what is happening. But to your point, I do think a lot of it might be hallucinations of them thinking about their past and the fuzzy memories of what may or may have not happened as well, which is brilliant as well. It's in a weird, fucked up universe, there might be a way where the dad did have an affair, the mom did go crazy, and they still started killing each other, and they're still going mad because of it and causing their own death. And maybe him killing his sister was all part of his mental break as well, which would be a very sad mental health story, which I would hope that's never comes to light.
Yeah, that's why I say I like to believe that this is all real. I like to believe that this is all really happening, because and
it makes it that much more
would hate for
hell yeah, haunted mirror.
Yeah, I mean, haunted object is always a fun thing, but I just wanted for him to. I just wouldn't want that story for Tim. You know what I'm saying? Like I just wouldn't want that
100%.
for Tim.
It's just like it's all in his head and he's going crazy and
Right.
stuff. That's terrible.
Like that would suck. That would be such a downer.
It's like,
She turns on the
it's
battery
so
powered lights walking past young Tim on the stairs. And this is what you mean, like they're starting to blend now. In her parents' room, she knows that the broken plate isn't real. Young Tim goes inside his dad's office for him to fix the lights, but the hissing entity presents itself closer to him, forcing him to run and lock himself back inside his room. Kaylie finds more shattered plate pieces on the floor downstairs. She uses her phone's camera to reveal that they aren't there before she's startled by her ghastly mom, stabbing her in the neck with the shard she retrieved earlier, but it shifts to Michael. Tim comes down. She sobs, wondering if he can see Michael. He can. She receives a phone call from Michael, checking back in, and she doesn't believe that she killed him since the plate wasn't real. But Michael checks the shards, and he realizes that it's the flower pot that she kicked earlier. Which, why'd she kick that? I think she kicked it because the same thing that was happening to her dad is happening to her.
Right.
I think she inherited a lot of what her... Actually, I just thought of this right now. I think she inherited a lot of what her dad was feeling when he was dealing with the possession of the mirror. And I think Tim is inheriting a lot of what the mom felt. Hers was very psychological. Well, they're both psychological, but like hers was more in terms of like mental breakdown
Obsession.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have Kaylie, who is more aggressive. Like she has like she's angry. She has this aggression towards the mirror, and Tim doesn't have that. Tim doesn't have that same exact aggression that she has. He's just in mental peril, but she has this aggression just like her father did, not for the mirror, but like just in general, and when the mirror would possess him. So I think that's one of the reasons why she kicked the pot in the first place, because she kind of had that same anger issue that her father has. Because I feel like that's what it does. It just brings up things that you already kind of have, and it just, cranks that shit up to 11.
Right.
But
That makes sense.
thank you. Tim goes down. She's
You're right. I think you're onto something.
She uses her camera on her phone to reveal that she killed her fiance. Oof.
Brutal. Do you think, even though they kind of play on where it is for sure real, do you think it was real?
Yes. Because I think that my theory still stands, where he tried calling her on the hour she didn't answer, and I think he tried calling her again. Yeah, which forced him to... It's a bummer because
he doesn't do what she said and just call the cops. Or maybe he does, and that's why the cops come anyways.
I thought, doesn't Tim call the cops?
But you know how it wasn't real too? It's like...
Oh yeah, because it was like when they were kids. Yeah. That's right. Maybe he did. Maybe he called the cops and he was just like going to meet them there, and that's how it all ended up.
Yeah,
because
that sucks.
It's brutal. Tim takes her outside, calling emergency services. Kaylie is about to run back inside, but he reminds her about the kill switch, and all they have to do is wait. The lights fizz back on inside the house. Doppelgangers of themselves open the curtains to reveal that they're standing in front of the mirror. She has him call 911 again. The operator wants his father to call, repeating that the doctor will be there tomorrow, calling him by his childhood name. Now, do you think this was real? Do you think they were actually outside and it was just phonies inside? I do too.
I think they were safe outside.
I think so as well. And I actually think they were more safe, because I would have tried the theory of like, what if we just keep walking?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's like, if it's a distance thing and there is a radius, cool.
Yeah.
Get outside that radius.
Like, what happens if we keep walking? Like, how long will it either, if this is a hallucination, then, what's your method of
it's
I
like,
guess.
You got to map out the whole world, bitch.
Yeah,
if you walk enough, it's like,
guess we're going
Inception.
to Tokyo.
You just see the memories unfold on each other, and it's actually Inception during the dream within a dream. They're like, no.
The fucking
I was planted the idea to kill my sister. Oh, no.
And then the mirror suplexes Kaylie. And they're like, you can't see me. My time is now.
Oh, wait, that's terrible. Never mind, I'm not going to even say my
What?
joke.
Oh, no, now you have to.
No, I was about to say, like, the biggest weakness for the laser glass is John Cena because he has no reflection because he can't be seen. We have the one true hero that can face the laser glass. It's John Cena.
That's it. And he's
He has
pumping
no
up his
reflection.
kicks because you can't see him. Oh, man. Did you
Mirror
watch
starts
wrestling when you were little?
What the fuck? No, not really, to be honest.
Really?
Never got into
really?
it. I did see John Cena's last match because my friend was like really big on it, and that just happened this year. So we watched that.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he lost his last match.
He's old. I get it.
No, I mean, it's all fake.
Of course.
Who said that?
What?
I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
That one listener just like,
forgive me.
what? It's fake?
I mean, it's
like the first time they hear that Santa Claus isn't real. And they're like, wait, what?
Just because it's in your
Santa
mind
too?
doesn't mean it's fake.
Oh, man.
Wait, what'd you say about
I
Santa?
used to be really into wrestling for like a hot minute, but I fell off when I feel like right when I was getting into like high school, like I started kind of going away from it.
You're like, oh, they got rid of the WWF or
WWF, yeah. But then they got rid of that.
Once they
like,
changed
when
that
we
to
were
the
like middle
E,
school.
I was out. I was done.
You prefer the World Wrestling Federation
Oh, I don't like that word too. But
instead of World Wrestling Entertainment?
no, I like entertainment. That's fair.
Yeah. There were so many different kinds, though, right? There was. I mean, these were all kind of in the same sector, but then there's that other one now that's like TCW, I think is what it's called, or TWC. I was out by that point, but there was a bunch of different ones. So I used to get the games and everything, though, man. They were blessed. They were blessed.
I remember playing the games, especially for like N64. Yeah, WrestleMania. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. They were great.
Sick.
Those were super fun. Yeah, I know Dead Meat. They're like really into it.
That's
so
cool.
I would have to ask
fair.
them
Some of my friends
questions if how is it nowadays? Like is it still like our childhood? Like, because I have no idea. Like I know wrestlers are extremely popular right now, though.
I feel like they're doing a really good job of like the entertainment aspect of storytelling of villains and heroes and weird stuff like that. Because from that one match alone, when I watched it with my friend, I was just like, cool.
Yeah,
There's a whole production to this. There's a whole like weird lore and storytelling with this. Which is cool.
yeah, they even take it offline, which I think is what kind of makes people have a lot more fun with it. But there's
Yeah, it's like
that
watching
one
a
wrestler
movie in real life, in real time.
pretty much, yeah,
Yeah.
that you can see live. But like, there's that one wrestler, Rhea Ripley, or I think that's how you pronounce her name, Rhea Ripley, maybe. The reason why I heard of her in the beginning was the fact that she came out to Motionless in White, which is one of my favorite bands. And I was like, oh shit, they made like a song for her that she came out to.
Sick.
And it was actually kind of funny because she looked just like the singer of Motionless in White, which I thought was really funny. And they both did the same thing. And I was like, that's fun. But wrestling is still insanely popular. So
Yeah.
shout out to wrestlers. I mean, I'm friends with a couple of them, like Allie. She's a professional wrestler, which you met her, I believe, on Halloween when we were at Det Meat's place. She smashes his phone, wondering what they're gonna do. He suggests that they wait. I don't know why she smashed his phone. Flashback to Alan loading the gun. The siblings agree to smash the mirror with golf clubs. Back at the present day, they enter the house, finding their doppelgangers facing the mirror. The lights cut out as Marisol approached them, using their father's voice to remind them that they're not supposed to play in there. They turn back to children, remembering that night when they needed to hide from their father. Alan goes inside his room, approaching Mary as she eats the broken plate. He pauses her crawls toward him by holding the gun to her chin. He unlocks her restraints. Once again, like a dog, sicking her on their
Onto
children.
them. Yeah. Which is
Crazy.
so creepy. Even the way she looks at him with like the gun under her chin, she's like, do it. I don't care. I'll do whatever. Their mom is gone at this point. Fully gone.
Oh yeah. She's gone. Even if like they get her away from the mirror, like I genuinely think she's not coming back from that.
But there is we'll talk about it. There is a moment, but it's very
a slither of hope, if you will.
small little portion
slither of hope.
Yeah.
Back to Tim and Kaylie hiding out in the bathroom. She's worried that their father is still there, but Tim knows that the mirror is trying to keep them away. And she's done at this point. She's broken. She's absolutely broken. And like Tim now has to be the one to try to take over in this moment. He promises that he's gone, but when he opens the door, Mary is standing out there. They revert to kids as they lock the door as Mary bangs on it. Kaylie devises a plan to open the door so he can escape. When they open the door, Mary chases after them, but Kaylie whacks her. Tim runs down the steps, but his father is waiting there with the gun. Kaylie manages to jump outside the window, back to adults, as Ghost Dad fires at Tim. Young Kaylie heads back inside the house, turning back into adult Kaylie, passing up Ghost Michael. Just to turn back into a kid again. I know this is where it gets fucking bonkers, but just like
back and forth, and it transitions so well. It's hard to explain.
It does, yeah. Like I said, it's not cool. Nightlight friendly, but like the movie is doing a really good job at what it's doing right now.
Yeah.
Her mom chokes until she realizes that she's about to kill her child, but Alan shoots her to death. The kids run past the other victims of the class. The voices were too strong for Alan to overcome as he fired the last shot into Mary. The siblings hide in the closet until their dad walks away, rushing over to the mirror to unsuccessfully beat it with golf clubs. They're hitting the wall instead of hitting the mirror.
Silly kids.
Silly kids.
Those darn kids.
Reminds me of like those trick commercials. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
Tricks are for kids.
Alan points the gun at Kaylie until Tim hits the gun out of his hand. He chokes her, which once again, these kids getting choked looks real. Her eyes literally were bulging out of her skull. And like,
she really wanted to kill him. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. He chokes her and Tim demands that he let her go while pointing the gun at him. Alan lets go of her, dropping to his knees and moving the gun toward his heart. With a tear, he tells them to run before helping Tim pull the trigger, shattering a piece of the glass with the impact. Marisol and the others roll up, sounding all of the alarms. Adult Tim this was crazy. When they're like, all the ghosts are like, it's just like they're all sounding out alarms.
That's the worst alarm clock ever.
I know, for real. Could you imagine? Adult Tim is back, sitting in front of the mirror, calling out to Kaylie, but she's stuck in her younger version. Mary's reflection calls out to her, and they embrace. So I also have a working theory that I feel like if they were to physically touch the mirror, then they initially can disappear from like the hallucination or whatever. Instead of, because like when they would have the hallucinations at first, they were in two different places, right? Like they were like, she was outside, he was inside. And so they were in two different places, but they were both in the exact same room at the exact same time. But yet the fact that she touched the mirror to hug her mom, he couldn't see her. And I think that's what happened to the dog. I think the dog touched the mirror and it was gone. So that's one of my working theories.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Hopefully. Yellow Brick Road type shit, you know?
Okay. I can see that.
Doesn't happen that way for long because adult Tim is back sitting, and as they're embracing, while Tim goes up to the kill switch to manually release it, when he does, adult Kaylie appears, being the person that the anchor pierces. Fuck. As the police roll up, with her last breath, she remembers the promise that they made to kill the mirror that night. Would have been hilarious if Tim was like, okay, well, my sister was in the way. Can't do it twice, and move her body out of the way. And he's like, here we go again.
She's somehow in front of the mirror. Fuck.
No.
It's like, why does this keep happening to me?
When he does adult Kaylee, or excuse me, Tim repeatedly screams her name as he has deja vu with the police there. One of the cops showed the footage nonchalantly as well. He's like, look at this, of when he killed Kaylee after calling for the police. The cops are taking him away as he shifts from child to adult, screaming that it wasn't him and it was the mirror. As they drive away, he sees the ghost of his family staring back at him. Then, credits.
You know what? Usually I don't like my morbid endings, but this one was okay.
This is a good one, man. I love the way this one ends. I feel like I just because when you think of it retrospectively, like they were in over their heads from the start, you know, and I love that. I really, really like that. So
all the characters were great too. Honestly, a lot of the acting was great. The storytelling was great. I loved the transitions, the haunted mirror aspect, all of it. It works very, very, very well. Especially like you said too, this is sophomore film. He's already doing phenomenal work as a film director.
Agreed. But I do have some movie facts for us here.
Yes, movie facts.
Director Mike Flanagan also directed Oculus Chapter 3, The Man with the Plan. If you haven't seen this, it's a short film from 2006. It is very short. It's this man who is literally by himself with a mirror. So there you go. And that's how he was able to inspire himself to make this film. I like how this is one of the fun facts. Stephen King loved this movie.
All right, we'll take it. That is a fun fact.
Yep, fun fact indeed. When Kaylee is showing her brother photos of the previous victims of the Laster Glass, one of the final victims' photos is the director's wife, Kate Siegel, filmed in 24 days. It's pretty great.
That's actually wild, especially the intricacies of how it intertwines two timelines.
Yeah.
Too. Thinking about all of that out and thinking about the shots that you have to do. And I actually love this movie for another fun fact too, where a lot of the times where there is kid actors and then there's the future selves, they are never on screen together, so they don't have screen time together. This movie does. So it's kind of cool that they were able to like be in the same room together to make this
figure out a way to make that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This was Karen Gillan's first American role, and she was selected for this role because Mike Flanagan is a big fan of Doctor Who.
Okay.
That's cool.
Fair enough.
Director Mike Flanagan has included the Oculus Mirror as an Easter egg in most of his movies and TV shows, and it's in the basement in Ouija Origin of Evil, the headboard in Gerald's Game, it's on the walls in The Haunting of Hill House, and it's in the Overlook Hotel in Doctor Sleep. Obviously, this is made a little bit later, so it is in other projects as well. It's in Midnight Mass, it's inside of the auditorium, and it's also in The Fall of the House of Usher as well, so it is in those projects too. So there you go. It's also in Bly Manor as well. When Tim is watching his younger self watching a cartoon on TV at about 1 hour and 8 minutes and 12 seconds, the TV becomes filled with static and there are several blips. If you slow motion during the scene, there are 3 pictures: a close-up of adult Kaylee, another close-up of adult Kaylee, and a close-up of adult Kaylee with her mouth open. As though she is screaming. That's cool.
That's terrifying, but cool. Small details.
That's really cool.
Love it.
Yeah, that's really, really neat. We'll end with this one here. After Kaylee has a night terror near the beginning of the film, the last shot shows her lying face down with her hands crossed over her chest like a corpse, foreshadowing her eventual death.
And let that be a reflection of her bad judgment.
There you go. Next time, just fucking kill the thing. Well, I guess it won't be a next time. But let us know what you think of Oculus. We want to know. We definitely want to keep the conversation going, and you can do so by heading over to our YouTube and doing it in the comments below, or on Spotify inside the comments there, or in our Discord. By all means, we want to keep that conversation going and learn more of, or talk to you more rather, about what you feel of this movie. Also, don't want to forget our Patreon as well. You can do it over there as well. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to go ahead and take over for the special thanks to our patrons. Allison is currently on a break from the show for a little bit, so I'm going to be taking over for her. I'm probably not going to do as good as a job as she does, but I'm going to try my best.
I want the same amount of excitement.
I'm going to try. But I want to give a very special thank you to our Lantern Hellfire Ghouls over on patreon.com/nightlightpod. That's night with a K. If you would also like your voice shouted out on the show, you can head over to patreon.com to sign up for one of those tiers to do so. But very special shout out to Avery, our Southern Belle, if you will. Kevin, which I'm pretty sure that's Stumpy Mac, but let me know if that is you or not, Kevin. So please, by all means. But if it is, yo, what's up? If it's not, yo, what's up? Allison, feel better soon. Farah, which thank you so much for sharing your first EVP on this episode, good. Farah. It was great to hear from you. Jasmine, which Jasmine shared one, right? On the last episode? I believe she shared one. Or was it? Oh, I think Johnny did. I think it was Johnny.
I think it was Johnny too. Yeah.
Jasmine, we got to get you in there, girl. Got to get you in there. Kadrea, Samantha, Dim, Johnny, which shout out to Johnny, also known as Black Kool-Aid. Kelly, Rain, and Carrie, Chantal, and then last but certainly not least, Joe. Thank you all so much for honestly supporting the show. Even those who are not signed up at these tiers, thank you so much. It truly means a lot for us to have you want to even spend your day listening to us. It's really incredible. It's something that I never would have thought. So like, even if you're supporting the show for the free, that is totally okay. Thank you so much as well for just listening to the show and just putting us into your day. That is something that we are still extremely, extremely grateful for. But absolutely. The next film that we're going to be covering is not known yet because our Ghoulish Knights are still currently setting up our poll. So they're still voting, but they're voting out of Saw versus Hostel, which currently in the lead, it is Hostel. But so we might be watching Hostel, Freddy. So there we go. Yep.
This month was doing so good, y'all. I'm like, so this one is chaotic. It's a good time. And then, okay.
We might end it with Hostel. Good times indeed.
Anything for the community. Indeed. I'll do it for you.
Anything for the community. Shout out to the ghouls. But this was Nightlight, a horror movie podcast. I was one of your hosts, Prince, also known as Head Knight. Alongside me, we had Freddie.
Always keeping it spoopy.
Also known as Nighty Night. With your help, we can reach more Ghoulish Knights that you would like to recommend for the show. If your podcast app allows you to rate the show, consider us with a 5-star rating, as it honestly does help us out a ton. If you're over on YouTube, give us a nice little like and also subscribe to the channel. That also helps us out a ton as well, especially the subscriptions, because we're almost to 50, which is really exciting for me. So that's awesome. I think that's great. For extra horror-related content, you can head over to patreon.com/nightlightpod. That's night with a what? I like it when you run out of breath. That's my favorite.
Yeah. On the new camera.
And remember, everybody, don't forget your nightlight.